Look at that, look how stunning that is with those fish darting around the tank there. Now this won't be staying in the showroom any longer than a couple of days. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Aquarium Garden Showroom. It's the end of the day after another busy Saturday here, and as I always do, I like to give an update on the aquariums, the aquascapes here. I think it's been a couple of months since I did my last update, and there's been a few changes. So let's dive right in, because the first change is Ty's Aquascape here. Now this has been set up for a couple of months now, and it's really settled in quite well. It's had a trim look this week, so you can see all the stems have been trimmed, and yeah, it's looking really good, really nice indeed. The colour from the Rotala last week was amazing. This is Rotala Blood Red here. As it's been trimmed, it's just going to grow back, and hopefully we'll get some more deeper reds in a couple of weeks. I'm really fond of this scape. It's a classic nature aquarium style with colour, small textures, the wood in the middle there, but very heavily planted. It's quite stable now as well, because the amount of plants that are in there, and it's been running a couple of months now, it runs really smoothly now. We've got some fish in there as well. Here are the Ilaki tetras, or reed tetras, and these are beautiful. We've had a lot of comments on these recently. People asking what these fish are, where do you get them from? The answer to that question is that I don't come across them quite that often, but I saw them the other day in the fish shop, and just had to get them. They're all pretty much fully grown as well. This is about as big as they get, but I don't know if you can see it on camera, but you do get this kind of bluey, very faint, subtle blue on the main body of them, as well as their eyes, the little red and black and white tails as well. So a lovely, subtle, delicate, dainty fish that I'm really fond of. It's a good choice, I think, for this tank, because it doesn't take away from the colour of the plants. There's a lot of bright reds and obviously a lot of green, and the fish don't stand out or take away from the colour that the plants are offering. So it just gives a nice bit of silver movement amongst the plants, and I think it's a great choice. So powered by the Twinstar 600S, this aquarium is, so you know, the kind of original almost LED lights, certainly one of the first LEDs that we started selling, and we're on version 4 of this light at the moment. So Twinstar, very renowned and well known for excellence lights for plant growth in the colour rendition. So we're a big fan of those. There is going to be some updates soon from a newer version, but I'll give more details out about that as and when that's released. But it will largely remain unchanged, but there will be some improvements to it. So anything else I can say about this tank? It is an Eheim aquarium, a ClearScape 73, so 73 litres. It's 60 long, 35 high and 35 centimetres front to back. And it's got the light screen on there as well from Life Aqua light screen to finish it off. The next change I wanted to talk about was this tank here. Now this won't be staying in the showroom any longer than a couple of days, because this is actually for a client that I've planted up today actually. So it's kind of a new service we're offering. We have done it before in the past, but we're hoping to do it a lot more in the future. And basically we can hardscape and plant a tank for you to take home anywhere up to 60 litres, because it gets a little bit difficult transporting aquariums that are fully scaped bigger than that, this sort of size. Now this is a 60 litre aquarium. It's actually a Superfish 60 cube, so it's 40 by 40 by 40 centimetres. And yeah, the client sent a few pictures in of scapes that he liked, and we have basically based it on that for him. And we've got, so I'll run through the materials. We've got the dark Redmore or black Redmore wood here. There's about 3 large pieces and a couple of smaller pieces. We've got the grey mountain stone here. We've also used some geostone as well. You can actually use those stones together. They work quite well, same colour, just different varying textures on them. But this piece here in particular, I had to put this at the front because look at the cracks and the detail on that. So there's kind of this perimeter here of rocks going around the front and around the side here, and behind all that is soil. You can't really see it actually because it's fully planted, but there is soil behind there, and the rocks and the gravel and the filter wall that are poked between the rocks is holding all that soil behind in the corner there. And of course, as you saw, I planted some things in the soil there, some cryptobalanzai, some hydrocotyle lessifala, hydrocotyle tripotita Japan back there as well, and some smaller crypts and things in the mid-ground between the rocks here, which are also going into the soil as well. Now on the wood, we were very much going by the pictures that the client sent in, and the pictures that he sent in featured Bulbitis a lot, so that's our main fern on the wood here. I've also added Bulbitis deformis here, which is actually a form of Bulbitis that's like a miniature fern, and it can grow out of the water quite well as well. So I've attached it up here with some glue and covered it with some moss, and the foliage will be out of the water and the roots will be underwater. So it's really quite a nice option. You can grow this underwater as well, but it needs high CO2 and high lighting. It can be quite a difficult, tricky plant. But growing it out of the water, absolutely no problem. And then moving around the tank, we've got various Bucephalandra. This is Bucephalandra Thea right here. We've got some Bucephalandra Thea Green. That's that one down there. We've got some Anubias mini coin in the centre there. Christmas moss, which you might have spotted on various branches. The grassy one at the front here, that's Eriocalon Vietnam. Also got a bit round the side here. And then next to that is the Anubias coffeefolia, so a larger textured, larger shaped sized leaf. And then anything else that I can spot? Oh, the Java fern windglove I've put a little bit further down, just to continue the ferns down through the scape. And then we've got Cryptocoria albida brown, this little brown narrow leaf crypt there, just dotted around in the rocks. I think that's more or less it from the plants overall. And this is a non-CO2 aquarium. We have discussed CO2 with the client, which he might add CO2 later on. Of course, if you do add CO2, you can then have a wider variety of plants, perhaps some more colour and some more difficult, smaller, finer textured plants, such as carpeting plants, for example, that you could use. And you may want to upgrade the light if you use CO2 as well, because of course if you are using CO2, you'll be able to use a stronger, more colourful light that can grow your plants much better, so it gives you more options. But this is designed to be a low-tech, low-light nano cube for a better, actually. So we've got a spin glass pipe that we can use on here with an external filter, and it'll be for his better. So really enjoyed making this actually. As you might not be surprised, any chance to scape a tank and I will grab that opportunity. So it took me overall, I'd say probably 3 to 4 hours throughout this week, in between doing other jobs, including running the shop and things, but I kind of did it throughout the week in between other jobs. So it's something nice to take my time over this week and really make something special for the clients. So this is what we can do for you. If you're brand new to the hobby, or even if you're experienced and just want someone else to scape for you and give you some ideas or get you started with your scape, it's a great option to come down and say, hey, I want a tank that's maybe a 30 centimetre cube, a 60p or something. I would like you to scape it. Send us some pictures and ideas of what you might want the tank to look like. We'll do our best to put our trust in us to scape it for you, and then we transport it home. We can pack this tank with bubble wrap, seal it over, get it safely into your car, and a tank of this size, no bigger, you'll be able to transport home and then crack on from there. And it's now the client can put this, it's actually going in his office, so he can put this straight in his office, fill it up and start his journey with aquascaping. So do get in touch if you're interested in that. That's something that we offer. Moving around the showroom, the ADA 60p here is completely covered in mounds of Monte Carlo and Hemianthus calatricoides cuba. Something just popped into my head. It looks a little bit like Teletubby Land, you know, with the kind of hills and the rolling green hills. That's kind of put me off this scape now a little bit. I'm going to trim it down and expose some of this beautiful dragonstone we've got here. So basically pulling chunks out of this, dividing, replanting, so we can expose more of that rock and get the original layout back. It still looks great as it is, you know, a nice green bomb, you know, it's still lush growth like that. It's still lovely to appreciate. So but I will be trimming that soon. It's still going nicely. The Hyperspar 60 light here, you see the colour rendition of that light. The greens absolutely pop with that light. So that's the Skylight Hyperbar. Very, very fond of those lights. It's run by an Eheim filter. Here you go. It's a 350T inline CO2. The full works on this tank. So we've got a nice high-end setup. It's an ADA backlight as well, the light screen from ADA. And yeah, that's probably a good couple of months old, maybe more now, maybe 3 months old now, that tank. Moving around the showroom here, we've got George's Scape. The light's just dimming down at the moment. It's on a ramp down, so it's a little bit dimmer than it normally is. And this is George's Scape, largely filled with crypts now and ferns and all this beautiful hydrocotyl swooping down into the tank. The fish are just as lovely and as playful as they always are. Look at that. They just think they're getting fed. But yeah, they're always out there, the fish there. These are Pentasona barbs and Harlequin rasbora. I'll feed them after the video because they look very hungry. Also a Skylight Hyperbar up here. This is a 75XL Hyperbar. This is the largest that they do, suitable for a 3-foot tank, as you can see, suspended on one of our Life Aqua suspension bars. This is a cabinet stand. It's attached to the cabinet there, as you can see. Moving on to the next 90cm tank adjacent. It's actually connected by this bit of wood here. Me and George farmer scaped these together at the same time. We put this bit of wood over the middle and the plants are just growing beautifully over the top to connect both tanks together. It's largely dominated by this hydrocotyl verticillata, but we've also got Anubias gracilis coming through, which grows very well out of the water. Some hygrophila here, which has lovely purple flowers. Actually, a lot of the purple flowers are gone now. And what else? More Anubias gracilis. We've got Echinodorus parviflorus coming out the back of the tank here. There's loads and loads of baby plantlets. I'm just going to rest it on there. There we go, looks nice there. So it's creating loads of new plants from those stems coming out of the tank there. And then diving into the tank, we've got a big shoal of cardinal tetras. Always a excuse me, always a classic, because the fish are blue and red and contrast and stand out very well from everything else behind it. So a lovely fun fish. And then we've got largely green plants in here, in fact entirely green in here. We've got the Hemianthus calatricoides cuba, the Christmas moss on the wood there. We've got Myriophyllum Guyana. We've got a Carpet of Monte Carlo, which you can see has been replanted. I only did this, replanted it last week. Now the tank was 15 months old, so the carpet got a bit tired over time. So what I did briefly, I'll just tell you, was take out the old Monte Carlo, peeled it all away, siphoned out all of the old soil because it was quite old and dirty by then. I reapplied more fresh soil, Tropica soil I used, and then I took 4 or 5 more pots of the Monte Carlo, divided those up into plugs and replanted it into the fresh soil. Did a big water change afterwards, and that is a new carpet freshly done. So in a couple of weeks that'll be fully grown in, all of these gaps will be filled. I'll have a nice fresh carpet that can go for another year again. That's if we keep the scape going for another year. Probably rescape it at some point. It's still looking very nice at the moment, so I should think at least another 6 months out of this scape. Definitely. The grassy plants are Sagittarius subulata, mostly at the back there, which is pretty cool. Lighting, ADA solar RGB, and filtration is the Awase Biomaster. Moving on to the 1500, has the same lighting, except this is the version 2 solar RGBs. Now they're set at 69%, and that's what it came set as. I think it's the same brightness as the old light, but you can actually increase this even brighter. 100% is very, very bright. So I'd recommend that for taller tanks, I think. But we've got it set at specifically at 69% at the moment. It seems to be just the right amount for these plants and this size tank. Now you may have seen this tank a few times before on YouTube and on Instagram. It's now about 8 months old roughly, and we've really utilised the size of the tank in terms of plants and fish. So there's a lot of plants in here that we perhaps wouldn't use in smaller tanks, such as the Aponegeton, these big leaf plants back here, the Nymphea lotus, which is, they're quite large as well. Big chunks of Bulbitis, big crypts, and ginormous hardscape as well. Now the fish, they've actually just gone hiding around the back there. They'll probably come out if I move away. Now what they are is yellowtail Congos. Again, a bigger fish than we would normally use in our tanks, but because this is such a big display, we've gone for a slightly bigger fish. There they are, all behind there. I'll actually try and feed them in a minute. If I just swing you around here. Now we've got this new food here. This is Vitalis tropical pellets. If I get some of those and see if I can get these fish to come out. They've been out all day actually, and they've suddenly gone really shy. So if I put some food in there, they may just come out. They definitely will come out, because they always do when we're feeding them. There they are, going crazy. So Congo tetras, but different because of the yellowtail version. You might be able to see, yeah, they're yellowtails, absolutely beautiful. Crazy fish, lovely fish, but a lot bigger, as you can see, than we'd normally use in our aquariums. But using this tank's full potential here, with bigger texture plants and bigger fish. Look at that, look how stunning that is with those fish darting around the tank there. Feeding time is amazing on this aquarium. You know, you feed them twice a day, and it is a joy every time to feed those fish. Really, really love it. Moving round, conscious this video is already 17 minutes long. Hopefully you're still watching. This is an empty tank, as you can see. This is an Aquascape 900 that's going to be scaped soon. So big news is, if you haven't seen already, we've got a workshop happening here on the 19th and 20th of July. So we'll be closed that weekend for the workshop, and if you're lucky enough to have got tickets, because they did sell out really quickly, we have got very, very special guests coming, Stephen Chong and Masashi Ono. You will have heard those names before if you've been into aquascaping for a while or follow the ILPLC competitions. These are very highly skilled aquascapers, masters in their field, and I'm delighted to have them coming over for the weekend to do 2 workshops back to back. We've got Masashi Ono on the Saturday, and Stephen Chong will be aquascaping on the Sunday. Each will have a 900 to do, each in their own styles. We will be filming it, and we will be putting that on YouTube. We have a cameraman for it, so that will be something to look forward to. You will not miss, even if you're not coming to the workshop. There are only 20 tickets per workshop that have been sold out straight away. But even if you're not seeing it in person, we'll have a good quality video for you to watch these scapes. So yeah, as I said, super delighted, honoured to have them coming over to scape for us in the showroom here. But yeah, as I said, we will be closed that weekend for the workshops. That'll be the weekend of the 19th of July. So yes, to be soon, to be scaped. This one will also be torn down and scaped as well. Moving round, lastly, quickly, we've still got the Eheim 200 running here with a classic style nature aquarium. We've got the Chihiros WRGB running that, going very well. Black neons, Cuboti, Rasbora, glow lights, tetras, lovely mix of fish amongst all this schismatic lotus and crypts. And finally, the Aquascape 1200. Still going strong. The high maintenance aquarium with loads of fast growing plants, Really love to try and keep this triangular curve going over here with the maintenance. Due another trim this week. Trim every 2 weeks, it doesn't stop, but it's worth it. Look at it, some very delicate manzanita coming out of the plants, out of this lush plant growth, and the ever popular white cloud mountain minnows. They swim around near the surface all day long, really, and they're a really beautiful fish, actually. The light's flickering a little bit. I'm just trying to get a bit of a close-up. There we are. Lovely fish. There's about sort of 50 or so of them in there. So I'll leave it at that, guys. Thanks very much for watching again. And yeah, as I said, if you catch us in a couple of months' time on YouTube, we'll have that video of the workshop out as soon as it's made available, and it should be a really special one. Really special. Masashi will be doing an iwagumi in a classic style, and Chong will be doing his thing in a more modern style with lots of crazy rocks and everything. It would just be, they're both super talented scapers and so individual compared to each other as well, so it'd be nice to get two completely different styles scaped in one weekend for the showroom. So it'll be absolutely brilliant. They're great guys as well. Really looking forward to meeting them. So I'll leave it on that note. Thanks very much for watching. Please do visit us when you can if you would like to see all these scapes in person and would like some advice. The showroom's open Monday to Friday and Saturday as well. Saturday 9 until 5, Monday to Friday is 9 until 4. Of course, you can shop online if you can't get to us and do need some supplies. Do give us an email or a ring if you need any help with ordering. Once again, enjoy the sunny weather. It's absolutely boiling outside, so I'm going to go and enjoy the sun and then put my feet up for the evening. Thanks again to everyone who's come in today. Take care. Hope to see you soon. Bye bye.